China is shocked. US new billion-dollar supercarriers finally ready to conquer South China Sea. What happens when the US Naval Force discloses its freshest, generally progressed, and most costly supercarrier to date? The USS Gerald Passage is an awe-inspiring phenomenon, flaunting mechanical developments that put it aside from any remaining plane-carrying warships on the planet. With a sticker price of $17 billion, this drifting airbase is equipped with state-of-the-art innovation and an atomic power impetus framework that can work without refueling for as long as 25 years. And with the ability to house up to 75 fighter jets and unmanned aerial vehicles, the USS Ford is a clear demonstration of the United States Navy's unrivaled naval power. But what impact will this supercarrier have on the South China Sea and China's reaction to it? Stay tuned to find out. The US Naval Force invests heavily in having the most impressive maritime power on the planet, which it credits to the way that it has 10 plane-carrying warships of the Nimitz class. Nonetheless, this isn't where the Naval Force means to stop, as it has proactively started to work on a transporter that is fresher, all the more innovatively progressed, and all the more impressive. With a sticker price of $17 billion, the supercarrier USS Gerald Passage is the latest expansion to the Naval Force's top-notch plane-carrying warships in over 40 years. Its deployment is not just another normal drill. Rather, it represents a momentous milestone in the world of naval technology and the mighty power of the United States of America. The U.S. Naval Force's plane-carrying warship USS Gerald Passage addresses the zenith of a country's military shoulder as the up-and-coming age of plane-carrying warships. These enormous floating air bases are outfitted with cutting-edge technology and have the power to strike fear into the hearts of any opponent. The USS Gerald Ford is in a league of its own when it comes to lethal mixed-generation aircraft carriers, which have been produced by other countries as well. Even though it isn't finished yet, the USS Gerald Ford has already surpassed all other aircraft carriers in terms of technological sophistication. In order to construct it, the United States Navy had to shelve more than 9,000 other projects. This supercarrier has a displacement of 100,000 tons, which is a new record, and incorporates a total of 23 innovative technologies, 3 of which are considered technological marvels in the industry. The nuclear power propulsion system of the USS Gerald Ford is one of the ship's innovative technologies, which helps to make it the most cutting-edge engine that can be used on the sea. The carrier can operate without the need for refueling for up to 25 years if it is equipped with clean reactors. The supercarrier's top speed is approximately 30 knots, which enables it to travel to any place in the world, where it may pay friendly visits to allies and cause devastation to opponents. There are as many as 75 fighter jets and unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, that call the USS Ford home. This includes the F-35C Lightning II, which is the Navy's favorite child of the 5th generation of fighter aircraft. It has been projected that the improvement program for this warrior fly will cost a sum of $400 billion. This makes it the most costly weapons advancement program that the Pentagon has at any point embraced. The battle airplane is equipped for playing out many moves, from close air backing to vertical departure and arriving, as well as anything in the middle between. The United States Navy's fighter jet of the 6th generation will be launched from and arrested aboard the USS Ford, which has already been outfitted with the necessary technology for this purpose. The supercarrier USS Gerald Ford is both a glimpse into the future of naval technology and the pinnacle expression of powerful military might. This supercarrier is not normal for some other plane-carrying warships on the planet because of its state-of-the-art innovation and capacities, which put it aside from any remaining plane-carrying warships. The U.S. Naval Force is as of now the most remarkable maritime armada on the planet, and with the expansion of this plane-carrying warship, it will keep on standing firm in that situation. The USS Ford is distinguished by the presence of cutting-edge launch and arrest systems that are groundbreaking and unique in their category. The electromagnetic launch system is responsible for launching every kind of aircraft into the air at the lowest amount of distance possible, while the arresting gear is responsible for bringing the aircraft to a screeching halt to prevent them from crashing into the water. These technologies are designed to resist 4,100 takeoffs and 16,500 arrests before they show any signs of malfunctioning. The nuclear reactors aboard the aircraft carriers of the Ford class are significantly upgraded in comparison to those aboard the Nimitz class. As a result of this superior limit with respect to control age, the transporters will actually want to integrate new innovations as they become accessible over the span of their administration life. Because of advancements in technology, the island or tower that is located on the deck of the carrier can also be moved further aft, closer to the tail. This more manageable island provides more space and accessibility for the aircraft, which in turn reduces the amount of time needed for maintenance and turnarounds. The revised layout is anticipated to result in a 33% increase in the number of sorties that can be accomplished by the aircraft carriers. By employing a pit stop system similar to that used in NASCAR, aircraft are able to swiftly refuel and rearm themselves. In addition, the dual-band radar used by the Navy operates on 2 different frequencies, which gives it the ability to effectively categorize low-altitude planes and missiles. It is able to support outgoing weapons and planes, in addition to tracking incoming missiles and airplanes. This radar will only be available on the USS Gerald Ford. However, the Navy is currently assessing candidates to offer an enterprise air surveillance radar, which might result in a savings of $120 million. The forward-thinking design and careful planning of the United States Navy are on full display in the Ford-class aircraft carriers. The modifications that were made between the Ford and Nimitz classes may appear to be isolated and trivial when seen individually. Nonetheless, the cumulative effect of these modifications on the Ford line of aircraft carriers is enormous. In spite of cost and time overruns, the success of the Ford class will not be characterized by any one invention on board. Rather, it will be defined by the foresight demonstrated by the designers who are designing a carrier that can launch planes and fire weapons that have not yet been conceived. In other words, the success of the Ford class will not be defined by any single innovation on board. The evolution of the Ford class, on the other hand, has not been without its share of difficulties. In a recent announcement, the United States Navy stated that in order to address the issues that were discovered during testing, it will require an additional expenditure of $120 million. These include problems with the components of the carrier's propulsion system, as well as the advanced weapons elevators, which are intended to handle a considerable amount more weight than the elevators that came before them. These elevators are designed to speed the process of loading and reloading aircraft, allowing for a faster rate at which aircraft may board and disembark the ship. The Navy aims to exercise the authority granted to it by Congress in the National Defense Authorization Act of 2007 in order to increase the cost cap. This will allow them to solve the issues that have been brought to their attention. The Navy has the flexibility to change certain expenses if necessary to complete post-delivery tests and trials. However, the Navy is expected to notify Congress when a spending cap breach happens and detail how it will shift funds to cover the difference if it goes over its budget. The first of 3 comparable carriers that the Navy has bought, the Ford-class carriers, are estimated to have a combined cost of close to $42 billion by the time they are completed. It has been said that one of the Ford-class's most valuable assets is the unique technology that it incorporates. The testing of these experimental systems has, however, resulted in some growing pains on occasion. For instance, preliminary testing of the aircraft's carrier plane launching electromagnetic catapult failed in 2015. Additionally, the program has been criticized by some MPs for a succession of schedule delays and cost overruns. Notwithstanding these hindrances, the plane-carrying warships of the Passage class addresses a significant step in the right direction in the US Naval Force's capacity to safeguard the country's advantages adrift for the very long time to come. As we wrap up this video, obviously the US Naval Force keeps on overwhelming the universe of maritime innovation and military may. In any case, the organization of this supercarrier likewise brings up issues about the overall influence in the South China Ocean and the potential for a tactical showdown with China. Will diplomatic solutions be sought, or will tensions continue to escalate? It's crucial to stay informed and keep an eye on the latest developments in this ongoing situation. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.